welcome to my yoga HIIT routine. This is a popular programming that I used to use a lot in my yoga class. Basically the flow of this is going to be 3 core exercises mixed with 3 yoga poses. Anywhere between like 3 to 5 I found is a pretty good solid routine that kind of adds up into like a 5 to 10 minute circuit. And obviously that's one set of this, so you can go through multiple sets depending on how long you want to use this as either a workout or shorter if you want to use this as a finisher. So how I'm going to do this is I'm going to do, instead of timed, which would work anywhere between 30 seconds and a minute for each movement and pose. The movements or exercises I would say that are easiest go longer. The movements or poses that they can range. Any of them that are harder are less flexible. Hold shorter. Ones that you need a little bit longer and hold longer. It's pretty flexible programming, which is a really nice way that I think about this. So first is going to be our 3 exercises for the core. Get your heart rate up. Bring it down with the yoga HIIT or the yoga routine. So high intensity interval training. We're just going to do Deadbug legs. So what you're going to do is hands over shoulders and wrists, knees over hips, and then you're going to push those shoulders up a little bit. This helps put that low back down into the ground, and then we're just going to do legs. I like deep inhale, exhale. Oops, I want to move actually inhale leg long, exhale in, inhale leg long, exhale in. So you could do just one leg at a time, or you could alternate. I would suggest 10 reps each leg. And I like exhaling on the way in to squeeze. So that rib is crunching to the hip, hip is crunching to the rib. They're kind of meeting in the middle, as I like to think. You don't want to try and round out too much. I find if your shoulders are down, your neck can get a little bit tired if you're up in this position. Just try and keep those lats tight. Kick through. Okay, next we're going down to the glute bridge. For this variation, I like to have my elbows down. Scoot up on this mat a little. Pushing elbows up, and then hips, quads, hips, and core all in a line. Knees over ankles, and then what you're gonna do, stepping out on that ankle does work with the foot down. I would just go a little bit shorter range of motion with that, meaning not going out as far. Okay, walk in. So the farther you get out, the more hamstrings you get. I like to kind of give a reset on my glutes there. Okay, you might not get 10 walkouts. The reps don't necessarily matter as much in this, which is where if you can't get or don't want to, maybe setting a timer for 30 seconds is a good place to start, 45 to 30 seconds. And you can squeeze at the end there, just getting a little extra hamstring. And since this one, you're kind of moving along, I would just say keep your breathing, I should say, smooth and controlled. Smaller steps make it a little bit harder. Then you're replanting. Think of each heel as a hamstring curl. Just a little bit shorter range of motion than a traditional machine. But I really like this one. I've got a weak hamstring connection. This move really helps me feel it out. Also one of the variations I use to practice for TRX hamstring curls. Go last one, smooth, step, step. Also at first you might find it's a little bit weird stepping. You'll find about how far apart you want. And keep those toes pointed up. A little hold in that straight leg bridge. Last squeeze. Dropping down. Last one, you got a little bit of top down and I guess hip bottom up too for the hip moving up to rib. I like ending with like a sit-up variation. I don't like traditional sit-ups just because they don't get enough muscles in place. So this one out to the side, you're gonna squeeze down and up, work a little bit of shoulders in there. Momentum happens because with the speed of those arms, you gotta slow down, brace the core a little bit. Deep inhale, exhale, swoop yourself up. You are using momentum. Squeezing those armpits, come up. Let's say a variation to this one would be a Russian twist if you don't want to, or just going to back to dead bug but using the arms on there. Okay, so we're back. We're through our core here. We're gonna go right into your yoga poses. Right leg will slide up left, coming into figure 4. Okay, so now I will push that down a little bit to get my a little more intensity in my glute. I'm pretty flexible in this position, so what I need to do is then add a little bit of intensity to it and get your reclining pigeon going on. So still same, position yourself in the air. You'll pull on that hamstring, left hamstring in this instance if the right leg is getting stretched, and that pulling and hugging it in allows you to get a little deeper stretch in your glute. Deep inhale in, slow exhale out. That helps to relax that heart rate. Okay, usually on the exhale, deep inhale in on the last one. And exhale long. Next one's gonna be happy baby. So you can start at the ankles or even calves. I like to kind of roll my hip up a little bit, and that's where I can kind of get into my feet position here, but always stay a little bit less back, or on your kind of your butt on the ground and hands lower on your legs until you loosen up a little bit, and then pull that hip up to rib, and that's where you can kind of start to get a little bit looser on those feet. The next kind of progression I will do onto this one is kind of just push my elbows out on my knees in the inside a little bit, and that'll start to stretch out that adductor a little bit more. Deep inhale in through that nose, slow exhale out through the mouth. Deep inhale, and then we'll exhale, release. Okay, open onto your side. I like bending the bottom leg, back leg comes back. For your quad stretch. And what I would do for these is I would go all the way through on the one side, and then I would either go back to your core routine and hit the other side, or go through and hit the other side and just get a longer yoga session. It all depends on what your goal with this is. If you're trying to get a little more higher heart rate, you're going to spend more time doing the exercises. You're going to only hold for 1 or 2 breaths of these so that you're not holding for a very long time. And vice versa, if you're looking for a little more flexibility, you're going to hold these a long time, kind of like I'm taking my time in these. Last but not least, you're flipping onto your front. Last one, and then this one you can transfer up to the standing position. We'll be up in a plank, pushing back into downward dog. I like sometimes walking my feet forward just a little bit. Flex and heel down, that'll help get the calf, a little bit of hamstring. I like exhaling into that
that, putting that foot down, couple breaths. And for this one, I do like hitting both legs at the same time, but it would work the other way too, is just doing one at a time. I would just go back through and do this same thing twice. Just because your hamstrings are usually pretty tight. A couple times through, you really start to feel a deep stretch there. You can push through your shoulders a little bit more. You just feel that lengthening out. And then I would walk it back up to end. Hope you enjoyed the video. We'll look forward to getting a front routine and more as the weeks progress through with this quarantine.